TCGplayer MaxPoint Championship here from Indianapolis. We're underway in round 11. Justin Shortine is playing Abzan Reanimator.
Nice.
Interesting. And he's playing against Brian Weller-Gordon, who's on Mardu tokens. This is a sweet matchup.
So we actually have
how did we mise into this,
a
Frank?
9-1 and an 8-1-1 playing relatively unique deck lists.
I'm taking a look at Shortine's list right now. I'm seeing 4 Commune with the Gods, 4 Satyr Wayfinder. So he's got a lot of ways. That's an 8-pack right there just to get stuff into the yard. 2 Rescue from the Underworld. And an Endless Obedience.
That's pretty sweet.
And then he's got 3 Horde Queen, but his main target to get back, Ashen Rider.
Yes. Is there 4?
There's 4.
I like a 4-cup.
There's the full amount. He's also got 4 Siege Rhino. I'm assuming Whip of Erebos times 2 in this deck.
Here's a funny story.
This deck is sweet.
I was looking for a deck on Magic Online to play for my article on Thursday. I ended up going with Teamer because I played this exact list. It had 2 CD Unwrittens. It had 2 Hornet Queens. I bet there's 2.
This is 3.
3. Might have had 3. But I knew it because it had 3 Courser of Crewfix. It had the 1 Endless Obedience and the 2 Rescue. And I was like, I couldn't win a match with the deck. It was facing like green-black Devotion decks who were basically on par with our creatures. Like, oh, I'll get back in a Hornet Queen, but then they play a Hornet Queen. So you're equal.
Right. Well, watch and learn, my friend.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting to see this exact same list that I was just thinking about playing like 2 days ago.
That you couldn't win a game with.
I couldn't win a game with.
Justin Shortine seems to have been on a nice run with it at 8-1-1. This deck looks sweet. Also, you know, based on what I'm seeing from Brian Weller-Gordon out of this tokens list, he's got Butcher of the Horde Hordling Outburst, which is a combo we've seen quite a bit. A couple of Wingmate Rocks.
Yeah, this basically looks like the Mardu mid-range list.
It just looks like a Mardu mid-range deck to me, to be honest.
I wouldn't actually say it's specifically tokens. It has like 2 token producers in the deck.
Yeah, that's a mid-ranger.
Yeah, it's got. I mean, I wouldn't call it. Wingmate Rock is barely a token producer. I would say. I think it's just a Broodmage Dragon, a baby Broodmage Dragon, if you will. And yeah, I mean, this is if you're playing this deck, this is the kind of start you want with Seeker of the Way and Goblin Ravelmaster. I mean, that's especially against Justin, whose only removal, I imagine, is the 3 Murderous Cuts. So usually that Goblin Ravelmaster is sticking, and he doesn't really have any creatures to block.
Not currently, but Justin's plan is to go over the top here. Like, he's like, yeah, have a Goblin token. Enjoy it, sir.
Yeah.
Here's, you know,
I will play an Ashen Rider. And exile that guy.
Enjoy that, yeah.
Yeah, and once you get Whip of Erebos out, it's good. But I think the Siege Rhino is going to meet a very quick, a crackling doom, if you will.
Sure, but it's gonna the job's gonna be done. Justin's gonna jump back up to 19 life here and buy himself some more time.
There's a Wingmate Rock for Brian.
Kaboom! Here comes the doom. So down goes Siege Rhino, but with any luck on Justin Shortine's side, that will not be the last time we see that Siege Rhino.
Yes, I imagine that Siege Rhino might return. But to be fair,
he's
Justin
got an
also
Endless Obedience in his hand, so that Satyr Wayfinder actually has some pretty decent value for him.
Yeah, that's a Convoker.
He would love to trade it off for the Goblin token to sort of keep that at bay. Because right now he's taking, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
But he knows with 1 more mana, he can actually just convoke the Endless Obedience and
get the Ashen
put back
Rider.
A Siege Rhino or Ashen Rider. Yeah, probably Ashen Rider, I would imagine.
Yeah, got to be Ashen Rider, right?
Yes, and when the Ashen Rider dies, it exiles a 2nd permanent, so that's pretty huge.
Yeah. So if it gets Crackling Doomed or whatever.
And he does have lands, but it looks like 2 Temple of Plenty.
Ugh, that is super awkward.
Which is, Temple of Plenty is an awkward name for that land, because when it comes into play,
well, I put the card back on top.
You don't have plenty of mana.
That's true. Does he just have to ship here?
I don't
if
think
he just has to pass the turn back, then
I saw See the Unwritten.
I'm going to say he's pretty dead.
Endless Obedience. He's at 10. If Brian
going to have to chump
to deal with this Satyr Wayfinder,
he needs to play something here.
Oh, yeah,
he's got Murderous Cut. No problem. Problem solved. And we were making a big deal of it. Now he's only taken 3 or 4.
He looked uncertain.
He's totally alive. He's also kept 2 mana up? What is that for?
I don't know, actually.
Why wouldn't you just...
2 is a very random number, and he has...
He has nothing.
Yeah, he has nothing he can use it with.
I wonder if he's just trying to bluff something because he figured those 2 creatures just aren't relevant anyway. Or those 2 cards from his yard.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll just tap out. Just play it all.
People do stuff.
Or pay 1, I don't know.
I mean, I guess there's no downside, right? Like, he's not bringing back that Wayfinder. That forest in his yard doesn't do anything.
He might have actually kept, yeah, I don't know.
So he's probably just bluffing or whatever.
But I mean, what do you, like, I think bluffing is one thing, but like, I'd like to have a purpose with my bluff. Like, what are you trying to make Brian think you have? And if there's no
I think the answer is something.
Okay.
What in the heck?
That's a Wingmate Rock token, clearly.
All right. I'll buy it. So are we going to get to see the Big Daddy Ashen Rider hit play here?
Well,
we
I feel
are,
like something's
right?
getting reanimated. The thing about Rescue from the Underworld, though, is
well, no, he's got Endless Obedience.
Okay. Well, that means double black, and he has one black, so probably not. But Rescue from the Underworld, the card doesn't come into play until Justin's next upkeep.
Right, which is a little too slow in this
that's
scenario.
Actually real slow, especially when Brian has 7 power on board. If Brian has any removal spell, he just wins. Because he deals 6 in the... Oh, well...
Oh, a second copy of Murderous
That is a removal
Cut.
spell.
Okay, so he's fighting and scrapping and staying in this.
And he's at 10 from the Siege Rhino. So, yeah, there's... Wait, he can't. He only has 1 black source.
Ooh.
That is not a thing we can do. This is the reason.
This doesn't work the way he wants it to work.
No, wait. Can we pause?
Yeah. We're gonna ask the judge. You got to be careful. They're playing so quickly. But he played a Siege Rhino this turn, which requires black mana. Right?
Yeah. He played a Siege Rhino and a Murderous Cut. That is 2 black spells.
That is not how Magic works. I think we've notified our.
And when he Murderous Cut, he pointed to the he's like, I had a Temple of Malady. Yeah, but then how did you cast the Siege Rhino? I feel like this is less confusing than making it out to be. You have 1 black mana, and you have 2 black spells.
Well, yeah, it looks like Justin was kind of pointing. Now, interestingly, though, Brian's already drawn his card for the turn, but he's tapped out, so they can just rewind. Okay.
Yeah, nothing has changed as far as the game state. No, there's nothing that can't be repaired right now.
Yeah, Justin's going to pick up a warning here, ostensibly.
I feel like you should back it up to the Siege. Like he played Siege Rhino, like that resolved. He could not, however, cast a Murderous Cut. So.
Yeah, I don't actually know how that works because he did tap the mana wrong for the Siege Rhino.
That's true too. So, all right. I mean, I will leave it to the authorities. Yeah, and he decides to go Siege Rhino again.
Man, his being crimped on black mana is just killing him here.
Right, and that's what I mean. And Rescue from the Underworld actually costs 2, and so does Endless Obedience. They're both double black spells. So.
Wait, isn't Rescue 4 and a black?
Is it 4 and a black?
Yeah. It's 4 and a black. That's a sweet mountain. Is that like a Mount Fuji or whatever mountain? Or?
Oh, one of the
Euro lands or whatever they call them.
It could be.
It's not Euro.
It looks good. Like it's a good looking mountain.
In the meantime, it feels like death is upon us here.
You're correct. It is 1 and 4
for Shortino here. Can he even survive this attack?
You might say his time in this game is Shortino.
7.
Indeed, 3, 6, 7. No, he does get to survive this
Well,
attack.
not with that lightning strike, though.
And the lightning strike will finish him off. Alrighty then.
Well, he survives the attack. It's the aftermath.
Yeah, there was more. So Shortino, awkward mana scenario there.
Yeah.
I mean, he ran out of black. He played 2 black spells. He had a double black spell in his hand that he would have liked to cast. Like, just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I mean that's where a card like Urborg shines, when you have all these double black and single black spells that you want to cast in the same turn. And you're like, well, all my lands produce black now.
You see the table judge there. What he's doing is he's writing a warning for Justin, and a warning by itself doesn't actually have any penalty.
Right.
It's just a note basically that says, well, this happened, and the reason why they do that is so that they can record those warnings over time, and then if there's a pattern established from a player, because the way that Magic works is that it's very complicated, right? And people make mistakes like the one that Justin made all the time, where they just tap their mana and then, oh, oops, I didn't have the right mana for it.
Yeah.
And that happens. Those are honest mistakes. Maybe a little sloppy, but these are things that do happen.
Yeah, especially after you've been playing Magic for 10, 12 hours.
Right. But there are players that will try to take advantage of that.
Correct.
And they will tap that way and see if they can get away with it.
Yeah. And every time you get away with it, you've gained a percentage point. You've gained some benefit.
I mean, like in that case, that would have been huge.
Yeah, that was like a game turning around.
Yeah, the turn where he only plays Siege Rhino versus the turn where he plays Siege Rhino and Murderous Cut are vastly different turns.
Yeah, and if we hadn't caught it, that would have resolved. Like, it would have been fine.
It would have just gone on, right? And so the reason for the warnings are that so they can make sure. Now, I don't think Justin's doing that. I don't have any reason to believe that. I've never met Justin. But we do need to make sure, you know, from a judge perspective, that they track these things. So that's why those warnings exist, and that's why you'll always hear judges and experienced players say, when you see something like that, call a judge.
And also,
it's not that you're trying to tattle on the person.
Right. It's just that you have no idea where people are coming from. You have no idea what their intentions are.
Right. Because some people could do that every single round and just try to get away with it every single time.
And the other thing about warnings is that if you accumulate enough of the same warning, like if this happened 4 times to Justin in this tournament, after 3, you get a game loss. They upgrade.
Yeah. So and they go right up the chain too.
Right. And at that point, it becomes habitual, and you're not watching out for it. It's carelessness.
Right.
And at that point, it could be malicious.
Yeah. But the cool part is, from the judge perspective, they don't actually have to differentiate whether it's malicious or just sloppy, because it's the same penalty either way.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Like you don't have to be. They don't have to say that you're the bad person. They just have to say, your responsibility is to play this game up to certain standards, fashion, and you're not doing it. You know.
Correct. And I mean, that's your responsibility. So, and if you guys want more opportunities to dodge warnings, you can play more Magic at the TCGplayer Player Appreciation Weekend, Modern State Championships, the Invitational, which is another $50,000 event on June 6th next year, Store Championship Weekend, and the Standard State Championship. So mark your calendars for 2015. Head on out there and play some Magic. And you can, at those events, you can pick up the TCGplayer Author tokens, which
I'm holding in my hand right now.
We have copies of these. We have Conley Woods and Mike Flores are the most recent ones. Mike Flores being a 2/2 vampire, you can use him with your Sorens. Conley you can use with your Empty the Pits and your Siddices. So play in MaxPoint events and you can pick up some tokens.
These are sweet.
I like them. I just
would attack with these.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I like it because like guys like us, like these are our friends. You know, like I like Conley, I like Mike. So yeah, it's cool to be able to play with tokens of your friends. And I have like 1,000 of my own token here, which I don't actually know how I'm going to transport like this. I'm going to have to see if I can get a long box for them.
We're out of long boxes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll just put them in this donut box covered in glaze. Why are they so sticky?
You know, I did a segment with Mike Flores on his on one of his columns.
Oh, okay.
For TCGplayer.com.
Yeah, you did.
It was fun.
Yeah, he's I like that. I like that column a lot actually, because it's called Make the Play Monday, where he asks a question and he says, well, how would you make the play? And on Friday, he invites a celebrity in the Magic community. Marshall Sutcliffe was one, and that celebrity gives their play, what they would do. And I was also one. Actually, I won a 5K with Bant Super Friends, and Mike was like, hey, do you want to be in the column? So it was awesome. And you get 2 opinions. You get Mike's answer and you get the celebrity's answer. And if you agree, if you've guessed correctly what the play was, one player who agreed with Mike will win $25 in store credit, and one player who agreed with the celebrity will win $25 in store credit. We pick randomly from the comments on the Make the Play Monday article, and it's a pretty sweet idea.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. It was also a really funny one that he did. He did a cube, pack 1, pick 1.
Yes.
And he took a 1-drop, and I took a 7-drop.
Yeah, he took Figure of Destiny.
Correct.
And I'm trying to remember what you took.
I took Mere Battlesphere.
Yes, that's right, because you're like, it's colorless, it doesn't commit you.
No, and it's a sweet target for Tinker, ramp spells, Reanimator. Yeah.
Yep, it's a real good card.
Look, I go big and cute. No. And he goes
I want the red cards.
Possible.
Mike loves the red cards. Rashad not knowing anything about what's in the pack.
He didn't see the pack at all, and he thinks we're wrong.
Rashad said, I disagree with both of those
I don't
answers.
understand you, Rashad Miller. Oh, it's correct.
So, looks like both players kept on 7. Justin starting with a Temple of Plenty.
Yeah, come on, Justin. I want to see what this deck can do. None of this getting stuck on.
I would really appreciate
mana.
If he reanimates something this game.
That would be sweet.
I feel like Reanimator is kind of letting me down if nothing gets reanimated.
Meanwhile, Brian Weller-Gordon just kind of quietly going to work over there with burn spells and token makers, just kind of running over Justin, who you know, he got to play a bunch of spells. It wasn't like he didn't do anything.
You know, in my head I was just like, man, he kept Crackling Doom, and that's interesting because Justin could just sack a Seder Wayfinder, and then I'm like, oh wait, we discussed yesterday, the card is really great because that will never happen.
Right.
If he has even if he has a Hornet Queen, he'll still have to sacrifice his Siege Rhino with a Crackling Doom because it forces the sacrifice of the creature with the greatest power. Very strong card. And And I asked Melissa. Melissa's playing the Mardu mid-range deck as well, Melissa DeTora, and she said, I was like, what do you think the best card in the deck is? And she said, Crackling Doom. Not close. It's super
I agree
strong.
with Melissa.
It's an insanely strong card.
It's very, very good. Took a little while to catch on just because we haven't seen a card like that before. But once it did, it was like, oh, kills your best thing.
It means he's lightning striking and he has a 3/3. So that guy is dead.
Nice attack there.
Gain 3.
Suspect
kill
block,
your
perhaps?
Yeah, if your opponent attacks with their 2/2 Seeker of the Way, don't block. Your guy will not survive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why they're playing that Seeker of the Way, because it can attack into things like Sylvan Caryatid and even Courser. Though I will say that it did use up Brian Weller-Gordon's turn, so now Justin Shortino is only facing down the Seeker of the Way still and gets to start resolving much bigger threats. So for a tempo play, it wasn't that bad for him.
I mean, now he gets a Siege Rhino, and he's only contested by, oh, well, that Siege Rhino's gone.
And by the way, take 3.
Oh, man. Yes, that is,
19 to 23.
Oh, boy.
Is he missing his land drop? Yes.
Unfortunate.
Well, he's doing fine. Now, where are these whips from
That's a
Justin
Hornet
Shortino?
Queen.
Yeah?
Got 2 more lands to see that one play, but I guess he's going to find one now.
There's another Hornet Queen, and there's a whip. Oop.
It's not a commune, yeah, let's make sure.
He found a whip.
Yeah, and he found a well.
Oh, whip goes away.
Oh. Satyr Wayfinder cannot get a whip, unfortunately.
Oh, it was a Wayfinder?
Yeah, he's got the Wayfinder.
Oh, sorry.
You thought it was commune?
Commune, yeah. Oh, he already had the whip anyway.
He doesn't want the whip?
Oh, he gets to do both. This is the best of both worlds.
Yeah, he doesn't even need that whip.
Yeah, that whip was redundant anyway. And he had the mana to cast the one in his hand, so this has turned out super sweet for Shortino.
Rabble. Like the Hamburglar. Interesting. Block that guy, huh?
Yeah, I like that. Gain a life, get that thing out of here. Take 2, whatever. And now it's time for fireworks. Justin Shortino, draw a land. He did. He's going to get to Hornet Queen here, right?
It looks like it. That would be 7 mana. Triple green.
I mean, how the heck does Brian Weller-Gordon beat a Hornet Queen?
No, he's just gonna.
He's not gonna play.
He's gonna try to get something. Oh, a Resolute Archangel.
Does he have a Hornet Queen in his yard? Yeah, he does. So he can just get that back.
Yeah, you don't have to get greedy and hard cast things. Come on.
I mean, I don't know if that's greedy, but
that's 7 whole manas.
He's gonna whip.
I'll use 4 of my manas. Play land.
Scry.
No want, he says. So yeah, I think we're whipping back a Hornet Queen here.
I'm not gonna lie, this seems good. Oh, he's got something else back.
Siege Rhino instead.
Oh, just getting a Rhino? Yeah, that's a 7-point hit here.
No, it's a 10-point life swing, so that's
life swing is 10, and it's 7
7
damage
to the dome.
Here. Yeah, which is okay, but it just kind of leaves him taking a bunch of damage on the backswing here. He did put a Hornet Queen in the yard, right?
Yeah, it looks like there's one in there. It looks like the 3rd from the bottom right now.
Yeah, I see a bunch of green mana symbols.
Yeah, that's from. It's it goes Commune, Hornet Queen, Whip, Courser.
Right. All right. Well.
Maybe he just wanted some
just trying to beat down, I guess. I'm not really sure. I guess you just chump block with this Wayfinder, or trade off this Wayfinder again.
Yep. And he takes 3, 4, 5. So he gains 1. It goes to 26, and then he takes 5. So he should be a 21 life.
Yeah.
Crackling Doom is pretty much dead now. Yeah, if Brian's missing some land drops here. We see
like
he has a Butcher in hand.
Awkward.
A little Butchie, and he's got 2 Crackling Dooms in hand, which are not going to be that great against a Hornet Queen.
They're going to be just terrible.
Yeah.
They're going to kill the Hornet Queen that was going to die anyway, or kill a token. And on top of it, the life isn't going to matter as much because the whip is buoying his life total here.
Yeah, I think if you're Brian Weller-Gordon, you just bring in all of the exile effects. Like he has 2 Banishing Lights in the sideboard, and that's pretty much it as far as ways to get rid of whip, unfortunately. He has Shot of Pyromancer, 2 End Hostilities, 2 Glare of Heresy, 3 Anger of the Gods, 2 Elspeth, and 3 Read the Bones. None of those actually deal with the whip except for...
He hardcasts this one.
Yeah, except for 2 Banishing Lights.
Crackling Doom kills it, but he's probably happier to have it dead. Like now he can whip that one back too. This is just getting bad for Brian Weller Gordon. He does find that land, but is it too late? Oh, sad. Only one insect. Lots of tips.
Tips for days.
Was it a mountain? It was a mountain. 18 to 16. 16 to 16. I have 18 to 16.
So now Justin has 2 Hornet Queens in his graveyard and an active Whip of Erebos?
Yeah, hard casting the Hornet Queen's interesting. Like the one thing I was noticing when I played the deck was like when you cast one and it dies, it's just incredible in the graveyard.
Yeah.
You just have twice as many copies of every creature you play.
He trade 1/5 of a card for a Crackling Doom, one of the better cards from his opponent, and it benefited him.
Because now, he
he's going to make more tokens.
And the Crackling Doom, the 2 damage is just negated by the fact that the Hornet Queen he whips back has haste.
Right, and there is
that guy's real good.
The Butcher, he's fine.
Death Touch is just Death Touch,
it's just so nasty.
Like, he can block with 1 Hornet token, and this is a problem. I don't actually know how Brian Gordon Weller deals with Hornet Queen in this deck.
Or Brian Weller Gordon.
Either one. I mean, Brian Gordon Weller or Brian Weller Gordon.
Big problem here, yeah.
I don't think either can handle these tokens. All right, we're going to see the unwritten. We have no ferocious though, so we're just going to look for 1 creature in the top 8.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you think that was intentional? That's just a little play on words.
It's top 8. I don't know. I didn't think of it until you just
thought of it right now, and I was like, "That's."
He found a Sylvan Caryatid out of that.
There you go. There you go.
This is why I think you just whip here.
Yeah, like I feel like
what are you
getting back that you don't?
I guess
that's
he's
better than a Hornet Queen.
He's looking for a. What's it called? The Ashen Rider? Like
maybe
kill the Butcher?
I don't think we care about Butcher.
I think with 8,
you just attack with your Hornet Queens.
I think with 8 Hornet
leave
tokens,
1 guy back. You know,
you have plenty. He's got a second Butcher in his hand.
It's gonna get crowded soon.
I feel like this deck area is taking up a little bit of space for Justin Shortine. We can probably move it up and put the sideboard underneath it, or the graveyard underneath it if we wanted to.
The other reason I like using your whip on both of those turns is that your whip is not guaranteed to stay in play.
Yeah, obviously.
Like your opponent can
draw Banishing Light and kill it, and then you get no value.
And
from
you haven't
creatures.
gotten your value, and like that's.
And if that happens, you still have See the Unwritten. You can play it afterwards.
Yes.
So, but get those creatures that you might not have access to. If your strategy is reliant on a permanent in play, make sure you do all the actions that you can with that permanent.
I mean, it's not a bad turn.
No.
Whipping back a Hornet Queen.
No, I mean, like, yeah, there's no. It's
why do we need to go so big here?
It's definitely not a sacrifice.
All right, so block both tokens with Caryatids and eat the Seeker of the Way with the Hornet. Not that Hornet. It's the only one with the picture.
Oh, can we put the real Hornet back in play?
There we go. Commentators are happy.
Mechanical differences.
Shortino's happy. Brian Weller Gordon pretty unhappy, I'm assuming.
I'm at 14. He's at 21.
Come on, man. Activate that thing. Let's get in there. Uh-oh. What are we doing here, Justin? He's counting up
the mana.
He's got a lot of it.
That's all.
That looks like whip mana.
Yeah, it's definitely whip mana. When your opponent puts four lands to the top and then starts looking through the graveyard. Things are definitely getting whipped. What? Interesting. What?
He wants to go from 21 to still at 20? Sure. He's got another See the Unwritten.
I think he just wanted a 4-power guy to See the Unwritten, so he could try to hit 2 guys.
He has got something in mind where he wants to combo off. There's
an Ashen Rider.
Okay, so he gets Ashen Rider. I mean, that's a sweet turn, don't get me wrong.
And he gets to attack for 4 with Resolute Archangel if he wants. You're just going to be crushing it into a Butcher of the Horde, probably.
It's a 5/4.
Yeah, and Resolute Archangel is 4/4, so like they're doing a trade.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean,
fine. There's no way that Gordon's blocking, right? If he remember the Archangel's going away at the end of turn.
Yeah.
Like if he could trade it off for a Butcher, it would be amazing.
But he knows he's going to 11 already. from Siege Rhino.
He's going 11 right now.
He's probably going to exile the other Butcher.
Target Rabble Master with the Ashen Rider trigger.
He's going to get rid of the rather annoying
So I go to 24, you go to 13.
Goblin Rabble Master and probably give a Butcher lifelink.
Yeah, I would definitely sacrifice that guy for an ability.
Proceed to combat? Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine he did because Ashen Rider exiles the creature, so for it to be in the graveyard, I would assume in response he sacrificed to give lifelink.
He's going to attack for 5.
His own makeshift Whip of Erebos, if you will. My creature has lifelink as well.
Oh god, that's got to be miserable.
That's an interest. Yeah, I mean, like, you got to do it. Like, the insect doesn't go away at the end of the turn. The Resolute Archangel does.
But he's trading his Butcher of the Horde to gain 5 life and kill an insect token.
The bee has stung the Butcher.
No kidding.
So
he did it again.
Brian Weller Gordon should gain 1 life here, go to 15.
He's trying to get rid of that token.
There's no efficient way to do it. Like, you're just not going to have enough creatures to get rid of all these tokens. Did he not give lifelink?
I'm assuming he did. Giving haste or giving vigilance doesn't do anything on defense, so he should have gained 5 off that transaction, I would think.
It feels like he should have, yeah. But he's at 12 now, and so he lost 2 life. Huh. I'm intrigued by what just happened.
Maybe the Siege Rhino trigger was still happening or something.
Sure. He attacks the Butcher, gets blocked by an insect token.
Yeah, of course it does. It's like these Hornet Queen tokens are just so absurd.
Yeah, they're not good.
He's just traded them for 2 4-drops.
Lifelink again.
So I'll go to 30.
Maybe again, I don't know. And he goes up to 17, but then like, and he still has another Hornet Queen in the graveyard is the thing. Like
2 of them.
Sure.
And Elspeth's actually pretty good.
Trigger? Yep.
Is she?
Gets rid of Ashen Rider.
Ashen Rider's going to get rid of Elspeth,
yeah,
though. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying he didn't have to do it there, but that's still, I don't think that's very good.
So that's parity for you.
Yeah, parity.
You kill my guy, I kill your guy.
Yeah, and even though it looks like Justin's top decking, he's really not.
Not with a Siege Rhino.
Please get a Hornet Queen finally. Yeah, there we go.
You were just waiting for it.
I was wanting it. We got there. I would have been doing that from the first, just flooding the board with Hornet Queen tokens.
33.
So now he gets to bash for 3, go up to 33. Justin Shortino has completely taken control of this game by just going over the top, right? I mean, his plays are just so much more powerful than what Brian Weller Gordon's doing at this point. He just made Elspeth look like a 1-drop. He's just like, whatever.
That's cool. You killed gone. 2 guys, I'll kill your Elspeth. Like,
yeah. And by the way, you put Ashen Rider in my graveyard.
I keep thinking like, wow, Wingmate Rock's real good, but then it just gets blocked by 2
Hornet
bees.
Queen tokens, man. These insects are insane.
This was a commander card. This card first saw print in one of the commander pre-constructed decks. And then Wizards is like, you know what, let's put this thing in standard, and it's pretty sweet. It's not overpowered because it costs 7 mana. And the creatures are small, but it's a super strong card. It puts 5 bodies into play. They all fly and they all have death touch. It's hard to deal with.
It's an unbelievable card.
I'm not believing it.
Which I love.
Oh,
all right,
double
Justin Shortino.
Hornet Queen. I feel like it would benefit us to get some actual B tokens here.
I don't think we have them.
They're the rare token.
Yep. We don't have them, man.
I'm not sure if everyone knows, tokens are distributed by the rarity of the card that produces them. So like the vampire token in Khans of Tarkir would be the rare one, the Wingmate Rock token would be the mythic rare one. Same with the Wingmate Rock token bird. So you're going to see those less than you would like morphs or goblins.
That's why I have a Michael J. Flores vampire token.
I do like a Michael J. Flores vampire token.
Don't have to track the other ones down that way.
He's a perfect arrogant vampire.
37.
I feel like this game's over.
Oh, this game's been over for a while.
The lifelink from Whip of Erebos is definitely not irrelevant.
This game is over.
Whip of Erebos is an incredibly powerful card.
It can be.
Yeah.
Slow.
Yeah, it's a little slow.
But it rewards you once you get moving again.
Okay. Then I will go to end step exiling this. Okay.
All right, ship the turn back, and we're back underway.
Yes.
And he's going to attack with all 3 of his things.
I'm assuming I can declare blocks.
Yeah, Rashad and Melissa and myself had a conversation at Starbucks this morning, about how slow the Reanimator deck actually is. And
it is slow.
It's because you're grinding out with like 1/1 tokens, you know? Like, you're attacking with a bunch, but you can pick them off. You can pick off one, you can pick off another. This one Goblin token on Brian Weller Gordon's side is just triggering raid constantly.
It's done 26 damage this game. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Justin Shortino's at 41.
But he would have been at 65.
Yeah.
We actually don't know if it's exactly
I did
24.
the math. No, I did the, ran the numbers.
We calculated some things.
He's back.
Go down to 7.
Moo.
Attack with everybody.
Battle, battle, battle. He's at 41. There's just no way he's losing. I think he just shipped the whole team in there.
You gain 11 life this turn.
By the way.
55. I'll chump block these Hornet 1/1 tokens with my mythic rares.
Oh, he's going to chump block the
Rhino.
The Rhino too, which is only here for a turn.
He's just here for the day.
It's just unbelievable.
The Rhino's just on a day trip.
Just visiting. He's got a nice backpack.
He does.
I don't know if you've ever noticed.
It's an entire house.
Yeah. He's got his day pack.
Day house. Oh, man.
Let's not untap.
My turn? Yeah.
Post-combat untap my creatures.
Yeah, I think he's getting a little ahead of himself there, but he also was probably anticipating this scenario in which his opponent concedes. So, Justin Shortino, after a stumble in game 1, getting stuck on black mana and not able to keep up with the threats and crackling dooms from Brian, stabilizes in impressive fashion there and takes over the game in the middle part and evens things up.
Yeah, that first match, I was like, oh, well, I guess this seems like it's well in favor of Brian Weller Gordon. And then that second match, I was like, maybe not. Yeah, that definitely turned around there. I think once he gets the whip, if Brian can't deal with the whip, you're like endless obedience. Fine, you reanimate one guy once. You know, rescue from the underworld. Fine, you reanimate one guy once. But whip is just a constant source of card advantage for Justin, and the lifelink is ridiculous. When you have cards like Crackling Doom that are going to deal 2 damage, 3 damage from Lightning Strike, you know, you're getting these incremental points of damage in, and the whip just negates all that.
Yeah, when you're trying to chip away.
Yeah. And it invalidates the chipping away strategy when you're same thing like Goblin Rattlemaster. I'm dealing you 1 with a token, then 2 with a token. So it's like the deck is definitely trying to deal small increments of damage, and if you have a Whip of Erebos, it just negates all that. You just got to start all over. And sometimes, as we just saw, it's not possible.
Where can I find Whip of Erebos?
If you're looking to pick up a Whip of Erebos, you can go to TCGplayer.com, or if you have extras, you can sell them with us. You can actually, selling is now open to the public, so you can sell your items on TCGplayer.com. If you have extra cards, you can list them on the site. You don't have to load pictures, you don't have to load descriptions, everything's already on the site. You just name the quantity, name your price, and name the condition, and you're already selling. So if you have cards to sell, go to the world's largest gaming marketplace and sell your cards on TCGplayer.com.
I would like a Whip of Erebos.
You can get one. All this can be yours and more.
Okay.
But if you want a HeroClix, which I don't think you do, but if you were a HeroClix fan, you can qualify for the Realms Open Championship in 2015 by playing Realms Open events at your local gaming shops. So this is a competitive HeroClix circuit that we've started, similar to the MaxPoint Series events and the Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh ones. So if you're looking to play some HeroClix, get on out there and get your local store to host some Realms Open events.
There's an umbrella convention outside of the hall here happening. Children, those are not children.
Imagine it's color guard. Color guard is what it's referred to in high schools.
They're flag enthusiasts.
Mm-hmm. So players are shuffling up still. We are. It looks like there's some banter here.
Talk about my deck or something.
Who do you think's the favorite to win this match?
Shortino.
You think so?
Yes.
Is that just because you like the Reanimator deck?
No, I actually think that you know, as long as he hits his mana.
Stronger.
Yeah, like the thing is, Brian Weller Gordon can get off to a decent start and put some pressure on, especially on the play. But his deck is very much a mid-range deck. Like cards like Wingmate Rock, after Justin Shortino actually gets moving forward with his game plan, aren't good. Like he resolved 2 Wingmate Rots in Elspeth that game, and they did nothing. They traded for 1/5 of a token. Like if Justin Shortino is able to get his game plan moving forward in a way that lets him stabilize away from like a couple of burn spells, then he can just run away with the game. Now, there are draws from Brian where he can just come out with basically the draw we saw game 1, where he has like turn 2 Seeker, turn 3 Goblin Rabblemaster, and Justin maybe stumbles or plays a couple of Temples or something, and then he can run away with it. So it's definitely possible for Brian to win the game, but I think if I had to pick a favorite, I think it might be Justin here.
Okay.
His deck just goes over the top and bigger, and Brian's just doesn't consistently pressure Justin enough, I don't think, to punish him.
With Brian on the play here, I wonder if that statement's going to be contradicted, because I feel like if Brian can go turn 2 Seeker the way, turn 3 Rabblemaster, he can actually... It takes a while for Justin Shortino to get his game plan.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm saying if Brian has that draw, then the game can absolutely be his.
I definitely saw Seeker of the way, so we know that's coming down right now.
Yeah, that's a good start.
And I see a Murderous Cut.
But I'm also saying that Brian Weller-Gordon's playing things like Elspeth and... You know, he's playing 5 and 6 drops in the deck. Like, he doesn't get to just curve out every single time.
I don't know if I would have boarded in the Elspeth if I was Brian Weller-Gordon. Like, I don't think you're going to match that deck on that level.
On power level,
6-drop level, yeah. Like, oh, I'll play a 6-drop too, but I don't think you're going to be able to beat their 6-drop.
You have to kill him as fast as possible. And there's definitely draws that Brian Weller-Gordon can have that'll allow him to do it. I just don't think that his deck can do it consistently enough, because it's not ultimately... Like, think about this if we were talking about, like, Craig Wesco's red-white deck. Like, that deck would just thump Shortino, because Shortino's deck is slow.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing about Shortino's deck is that when it does get going, it's not just that it does big stuff, it also gains huge amounts of life. So it can negate all of that early game. But so you have to shut the door on him quickly, and if you don't, which Weller-Gordon's deck isn't amazing at, it's okay at, but it's not amazing at, then you're going to let him get out of hand here.
If Brian,
he just bricked.
If Brian has an answer to Whip of Erebos, if he has a Banishing Light or what have you, then he puts him back in the game.
Oh, yes. Oh, was that a Rabblemaster off the top?
It looked like a Lightning Strike.
No.
But, oh, was it a Rabblemaster?
Yeah, it was.
Sounds good.
So that's yucky.
Yikes.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that trade here.
Yep.
There you go.
And Justin doesn't have any sort of mass removal. There's no way he can, like, wipe the board.
No, he's all in on his plan. Ooh, that's a good draw.
It looks like he also has a Murderous Cut in hand. So I think it depends on if he wants to play Courser this turn.
He has no black mana right now.
I think he has Llanowar Waste.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's definitely considering the...
oh, you have to kill the Rabblemaster,
yeah,
right?
you do 100% have to kill the Rabblemaster. You do not have time to play Courser and have it killed.
Now, there is a line, though, where he plays Courser, blocks the token.
No, it'll never happen. Brian will just Crackling Doom it.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy's got to go.
All right, so man down.
You could probably put that Murderous Cut in the graveyard. It does not remain on the battlefield.
Or maybe it'll block.
Not a permanent. Could block. I'll block with the cut. He does have another Seeker in hand. Maybe a Read the Bones. Actually, I would probably play Read the Bones here and look for something significant. And nope, changed his mind.
I mean, if he plays Read the Bones this turn, Justin Shortino is going to just fist pump.
Really?
That means he's taking only 3 damage.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, like, it's setting up for something later. Yeah, he's...
Yes, but if the game goes long, Shortino has the advantage. He gets to start whipping stuff back. He's already got a Hornet Queen in the bin. He's got a whip in his hand.
He has a Chain to the Rocks on top, which I would probably keep in hand. I would Chain to the Rocks the Siege Rhino that's coming down next turn.
But he doesn't know that.
Yeah, but you have to assume he's going to play either Siege Rhino or Courser, because he has...
Why? What if he just plays Whip?
He doesn't have a second Black Source, so I mean, like...
Are you... Remember, Brian Weller-Gordon can't see his hand. He doesn't know how many black sources. He doesn't know if he has Whip or Rhino. Are you crazy? You're like, oh, but he doesn't have black. Just as if Weller-Gordon's like, oh, he doesn't have black. I'll just play around this. Remember, he's got to try to think of all the different iterations coming down here. Like, could be a Whip, could be a Rhino, could be no black mana, could be a Courser. See what he finds here. Ooh, Murderous Cut number 2. That could be really good. Would you Murderous Cut the Seeker?
I mean, I think you have to eventually. Like, it's just dealing you too much damage. You're at 13 if you're Justin.
I mean, because the other line of play here is to, if he's got black, which you said he doesn't have it in his hand right now.
No, he doesn't have a second black source.
So that he can't whip it, because, man, just slamming Whip right there would be pretty nice. Then you get to untap, get back Hornet Queen, and then the Seeker of the Way just doesn't matter anymore at all.
Yeah, and so Siege Rhino is going to put him a little closer to healthy. Yeah, he took one from the Land War Waste, so we gained 2 from Siege Rhino.
But more importantly, he has a really nice blocker for Seeker that has to be dealt with.
Crack this. I don't actually know what Brian's playing here.
I don't think Weller has a way to get rid of the Rhino, does he? Did he keep the chain?
Not sure.
Okay. If he has Chain of the Rocks, then he does, but like, I don't think he has Crackling Doom. Do you see one in his hand?
I see an Elspeth, I see 2 lands, a temple, and a mountain.
And I see another Seeker of the Way as well, so no.
I mean, Elspeth's good. Like, it could put him in control of this game eventually.
It could be, yeah.
If he doesn't draw a second black to enable his reanimation.
He's got to find it eventually. The question is, is Elspeth, can she close out the game quicker than Justin can find black mana? Probably not.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, Murderous Cut.
Okay, Murderous
Cut. He did have an answer.
Here we go.
And we're going to play the second Seeker of the Way.
All right, all in on Seeker of the Way. Take 3, yeah.
Go back to 19 for Brian Weller Gordon.
His life total is much less important than Shortino's.
And a Courser of Crewfix. So, I mean, it's going to get you one closer to live.
Maybe he'll find a black mana source here.
Oh, a Caryatid. He does not. Caryatid is the one card that I always hit when I have a Courser of Crewfix.
Now, doesn't he have a Murderous Cut here, though?
I don't think so. I think he just did he. Yes, he does.
Okay, he's got
a Murderous Cut, Whip, Hornet, and a second Courser. So.
Okay, so he's going to get to block, and he does actually get to block a Seeker and kill the other one here. So this actually works out okay. He's not going to take any damage this turn, but the pressure is mounting very quickly.
And Brian still gains 3 from this. So.
Indeed.
Yep, Murderous Cut. And he takes another point from Land War Waste, so
he does.
Not irrelevant against this deck.
It is getting, like, his mana issues have really punished him.
Yeah, the double black has been like his bane in the 2 games he's lost, yeah.
Ugh. Come on, you gotta hit this one.
Ashen Rider is not what you want to see.
No land drop for the turn of any color.
Brown, oof.
I mean, he could have played the Caryatid to ensure it for next turn.
Yeah, I feel like the second Courser was greedy. It doesn't actually get you any closer to a land.
No. Well, theoretically.
Well, the first one, how so?
Oh, he's already got one out.
Yeah, he had one to play. So you don't need the second one.
So it doesn't do anything.
No, I would much rather have a Caryatid here because that guarantees you get to play a Whip or a, you know, like probably just Whip the way his hand looks. But it's still, that starts you on your road to victory.
No, you're totally right. And
oh, you can tell a Wingmate Rock's coming down here because he only attacks with 1 token.
Right. At least Justin figured it out and blocked, but
yep, that is the thing.
See, this
I might have end hostilities here and then made 3 tokens post combat because it gives him one, we know he's drawing an Ashen Rider and it gives him 1 less chance to actually play a land.
I like that play a lot.
And then he doesn't have any Coursers in play, so
I mean,
it's going to take him at least 3 turns to draw land,
that he was ahead.
Play a Whip and whip back something. I mean, I know. Yeah, I bet he figured he was ahead, but like you untap with 3 Elspeth tokens still,
right?
And then you know they're going to get in. So I'm pretty sure I would have done that.
And you brick Shortino on his hope.
And once you cast that Wingmate Rock, the end hostilities is basically a blank. Like you're never going to cast it after that Wingmate Rock is resolved.
Right. Yeah, I like your play. I think I would have done the same. Like anytime you can clear the board away and have an active Planeswalker up afterwards, things look pretty good for you.
And you know he has Ashen Rider, so it's just great for Brian Weller Gordon to untap with.
Brian's going to gain 1,000 life here. I counted it.
It looks like 1,000. 1, 2, 3, size.
I think it's
give or take.
Yeah. So he's attacking with the whole team here, and Justin is at 11. He's taking 6 in the air.
And probably 2 on the ground. So it looks like he's going to 3.
Yeah,
Any lightning strike from Brian Weller Gordon is lethal. If he had Crackling, then we obviously would have cast it pre-combat.
Right.
And that would have also been 3. 1 more point from the token. And 2 from the Doom.
It would have forced a chump on the Seeker as well. So I think we are just about done here for Shortino. He did not find the mana that he needed. Yeah, he's not dead this turn, but
he's got an Elspeth emblem looming, so I don't know what the actual options are for Shortino. You know you got a Siege Rhino, so I guess you go to 5, but
I think you just die in the air.
And no land drops for like 4 turns.
Yeah. I think that Caryatid, I think he needed to play that Caryatid the other turn to give himself at least a shot.
Just took him 1 turn too long.
Yeah. He took one here, goes to 1, goes back up to 4 now.
No, this is your dead in the air.
And he's just dead in the air.
His opponent might not attack. Emblem time, just for fanciness.
Wow, super dead in the air. Yeah, take 1,000, and that's going to do it. Brian Weller Gordon with a more consistent deck.
Yeah,
you know, it
true.
has to be said that his performances were much more clean there. Like